Alrighty, we are live. Hello, folks.
Hello, welcome on back to another riveting installment of Hot Button Co-op.
Know it, baby.
This week's game, we continue on with Metal Slug. We're skipping 2 and jumping right to Metal Slug X because it's the remake of 2 and they have more guns. And who doesn't want more guns?
You know it.
I won't. More guns.
Alrighty. Good. Oh.
Lots of interesting...
Hey, Fig, what's up?
It's Fig!
It is.
Wait.
Peru. Are you one?
I don't know.
I'm one.
Okay, I'm 2. Yeah, I'm actually gonna play as Marco this time around. Haven't played as Marco in a minute. Marco! There we go.
Wander. Hey, good evening, dudes.
Oh.
Hey, what's going on, Don? I haven't seen you in a while.
By the way,
all as well.
By the way, Fig, fantastic news about your father. Very, very happy. Been praying, so glad to hear the good news. But lots of interesting things going on in the world this past week. We had a pretty exciting win for the First Amendment with Elon Musk purchasing Twitter.
Oh, you're going right away into that?
I am. I figured
that's like the really big. I mean, really, we could talk about it for hours.
We could. Well, I'm sure we'll end up circling back to it a number of times. But the thing that I was really jazzed about was that, and obviously it'll probably be at least another 2, maybe 3 months before all the papers are signed, all the T's are dotted, all the I's are crossed and whatnot. But suffice to say, it's an exciting prospect already, as we saw within the first 24 hours, a lot of like bigger named conservative voices on the platform had their either their accounts reinstated if they had been banned. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene was one who got her account back. But also we saw a number of people's accounts go up in their subscriber counts by literal thousands. I want to say Michael Knowles, I was listening to him earlier, I think he said his went up something like I think 8,000 in a day. And I know Crowder, I believe he got like 230,000.
So something very interesting is that, and I don't know how they calculated it, I've seen people kind of post it here and there, but there's kind of something that you can, there's like a program you can put your Twitter user in there, and it kind of searches to see if you've been banned or shadow banned.
Really?
I don't know how accurate it is. I know I've seen other people kind of talk about it and use it.
That's interesting.
I put mine in, and apparently mine is at least ghost banned.
Or was ghost banned, or is it currently?
It's still currently ghost banned, to where I guess it halts a lot of my my tweets, which is interesting because I don't really tweet a whole lot. I've been kind of fiery this past couple of weeks.
Oh, we've noticed, Gib.
Oh yeah, I've been. That's a combination of Elden Rings, and of course, we all get tired at some point. But I speak it from a loving truth, with slight vulgarity that obviously needs to be curbed a tad bit.
Just a wee bit.
Just a wee bit, but that's something I've always asked. We all have our lapses, but yes, I'm not exactly sure how the program what it looks for into it, but I can't remember where to find it. It was one of those things where like one of the people I follow, I think, posted something about it, and I just put it in there real quick. So
interesting, because like I wondered for a while if I was shadow banned, just because I know that I've had some more, I guess, fiery engagements myself on there, more, I guess, very pointed, crafted things that I'll say in response to people, or if I'm calling out some hypocrisy. But it's one of those things where,
hey sir, what's up?
Where it's like, I guess I wasn't really too sure on exactly what all has been the case on there. But I guess in addition to a lot of people getting their accounts either reinstated or getting a subscriber count like boost, they've also been finding out that they were shadow banned, like you were just saying, or people who have been shadow banned have been unbanned now.
They've been unbanned. They've been, I think there's also a mixture of people who just have kept quiet or haven't really used Twitter anymore since they know that they're well enough established, I guess you could say, to where they know they would just get banned.
Sure.
Because I've seen other people, they're like, wow, it feels like I can actually speak. Like, okay, you weren't banned per se, but silence.
Yeah, we're being throttled in some capacity.
Yeah. We're supposed to go.
Oh, I think we do go up.
I'm like, I'm following you, pup.
What up, Stuart? But anyway, that was the pretty exciting thing from last week, and obviously there's still lots and lots to be seen in terms of what's going to happen, what that really means for Twitter as a whole. It is interesting though that once the announcement was made that Elon was going to be acquiring Twitter in earnest, it is really super interesting that you suddenly saw the mainstream media outlets finally showing some actual concern, as though they actually give a rip about Section 230. Even Jen Psaki commented on it, that it's going to be more in an effort to try and keep misinformation, which seems to be their favorite word of the last 3 years, in check, which we can just call it what it is, lying. Which has been done way too much by the elite establishment.
I mean, they always coin those type of terms.
I hate it. It's so disingenuous to even say that, because it's like, oh, you're just trying to soften the blow. It's like when somebody says, oh yeah, I like big-bodied women, versus saying, oh, I like fat girls. It's like, come on, just own it. You know?
I mean, as me, it's also like even the right have used it, and I don't know where it originated from, but it's to me when it's like when I hear the word mass shooting, like I hate that term so much, because you know when the left say it, the only gun they're thinking about is that scary AR-15.
Scary black one. Yep.
How long till Elon takes full control? You might.
I think it's going to be close to 2 to 3 months. When all the money and everything is exchanged and everything
I thought it was
is
around
set.
like October. I thought.
It could be that. It could be that far.
Maybe a little bit early. I don't know.
Yeah, the reports I was hearing yesterday was saying that it'll likely be a couple months. Oops. But we'll go Theo this time around.
Heavy machine gun.
But anyway, so that's exciting. But what I thought was really super interesting is you do hear now so many of the talking heads going on and on about Section 230, and you had Apple threatening to pull Twitter off its app store now, because they're just assuming it's going to be some kind of conservative hellhole. I want to say that Amazon was talking about something as well in addition to it. I don't remember the other company, but there were two of the major ones that were talking about essentially not doing any kind of deals with Twitter if they're going to be this bastion of free speech.
Slight echo on mine. That sounded a little bit.
Is it better?
We're like, this is the echo is something I've always tried to. Oh. Go ahead and.
Oh, there's 5. Oh, I got the fire. Cool. Oh, darn it, didn't count because I'm a mummy. But anyway, so that was. There's that with the disingenuous nature of trying to say, oh yeah, no, we won't have any part of this tyranny that is this freedom of speech sector now. But the other side of it now is, even after you've had so many conservative voices that have been talking and begging for the curtain to be pulled back on Section 230, and have been calling for actual social sites to either to finally state what they are. You know, are you a publisher, or are you just a haven for posting? You know, are you essentially a message board, as it were? Because if you're a publisher, then that means that you can be held liable for what people say on your platform. But if you're just a place to post, you know, if you're just the public square, as it were, then you can't be held liable for anything that is said on your website, obviously, because hey, it's not you saying it, it's just somebody who's using your website. And for any self-respecting place that is a social media conglomerate, to make a move one way or the other, you would expect them to want to make the move on the side of, hey, we are just a place for people to post, we are not the publisher, because then if they were publishers, they'd have to face so much harsh scrutiny for what their users say and do on the platform. Also, they can be brought up on legal charges should somebody get too out of pocket and start making threats, and they didn't catch the threat in time, and it led to a bunch of people dying at a concert, or what have you. So now you're seeing so much more of a push that direction with the talking points where they're like, yep, you know, we're gonna have to make Twitter, we're gonna have to make them say exactly what they are, you know, now that we're gonna have all these radicals, all these gripers on there now, which is just bananas. So
hopefully I fix that echo. It's just because we're so close together.
So close, so
I'll
far.
have to dabble.
Yeah, we'll try it out again. But anyway, so that's been the big take for Elon this past week, which yay, excited. I'm happy at the prospect of not having the threat of being removed from the platform just because I say something that people don't like. And that's mainly the big thing that I was hearing Elon speak about, was that, hey, you know, this is going to be a place where you're not going to be removed for a difference of opinion, for a difference of thought, for a difference of how you view the world, and especially it's going to be protected speech, where you will not be removed from this platform for your political takes. You're not going to be removed from this platform unless you actually violate what free speech does entail, and that's calling for violence on people or a group, making threats. It's like when he stated that it was going to be a free speech platform, he said so in the confines of actual protected speech, like constitutionally free speech. So very, very happy about that. But shifting gears, this is one that I find to be so disingenuous from the people that are making the statements. But there are a number of people out right now that are claiming that this spike in gas prices is actually a boost for our economy, and is actually this golden ticket moment that has been given as sort of a gift to Joe Biden. Actually, Mark Ruffalo was saying as much on Fox, because he has no idea what he's talking about, but he was saying, yeah, Mark Ruffalo.
He was on Fox.
Yeah, but he was commenting, saying that this is essentially a gift for Joe Biden, and in order to accept what Mark was saying, you have to first accept the unbelievable and unrealistic premise that the reason why we have such high gas prices is solely because Russia has invaded Kyiv. That's the premise that you have to accept in order for anything else that Mark Ruffalo said and what I'm about to convey to make sense or be acceptable. So he's operating under the belief, under the false narrative that, oh, the reason our gas prices are so high, even though they were spiking well before Russia ever invaded Kyiv, the reason they're so high is because Russia has invaded Kyiv and we have supply chain issues, and so that's why we're kind of in the gutter right now. And so Mark was more or less saying, like, hey, you know, this is going to be great for the environment. This is a gift that's been given to Joe Biden, because now we can really get on to the whole Green New Deal, as it were. We can start, and he's, without saying it, he's more or less saying, yeah, now we can, in addition to getting on board with the Green New Deal, we can start looking at other green options for energy, like solar and wind and hydroelectric, or what is it that they use with dams? Hydro. Oh, it's a specific name, but anyway, that's largely what he was getting at. It's like, hey, look, you know, because Russia has made this such a bad idea, you know, Joe doesn't have to take this as an L. He can just claim that, well, this is my opportunity now to put this Green New Deal in order and in action. And it really does seem like there's so many people out there inside the media and also inside the I guess more upper crust of
society,
yeah, or the what's the word, the celebrity tiers, that really do believe that it is the case that we have these higher prices because of the invasion, and also they're trying to put forth this idea that, oh, this will be a great idea because they still think that we're all going to be dead by 2030, which is not going to happen, save for nuclear war actually blowing this world up, or us having an alien invasion.
Hopefully this fixed it. We'll see.
So that was one that I think is a little stupid, and it's a bit verbose for so many of them to even try and make the claim, because it's like, you guys, anybody who's been actually watching more than just CNN or more than just MSNBC over the last 2 years knows that the narrative has been curated in the left's what's the word, their direction, curated so that they come out on top, as it were. And so much misinformation, which we have to call it what it is, lies, so many lies have been leveled at the American people, that they have really worn out their integrity, or their proposed integrity.
Well, it's the classic boy cried wolf scenario. They've done it so many times.
Yeah, you can only demonize something that isn't demonic so many times before the people who are being called this, that, and the other decide, you know what, we're done listening. We're done paying attention to you. You could tell me right now that, oh no, there's a meteor that's going to be hitting our planet tomorrow at 4:30 in the afternoon, and you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who's actually going to believe you and do something about it. Just because they, like you said, they have worn out they've worn out the American people's trust, and now that they've lost that, and I think more people have been red pilled in the last couple of years than ever before. So hopefully it bodes well for actual truth seekers and those who want to bring the truth out. Hopefully they don't have to feel so stilted and stultified from all the crazy narratives that have been flying around that have just been in opposition to truth.
Well, you know that the funny thing is that their script is so easy to read. They're just gonna say the same thing. Like when more people become red pilled, they're just gonna say, well, more people have become
radicalized.
Bigots, misogynists, and all that stuff. We know exactly what they're gonna say.
Yep, they're gonna say, oh yeah, all the Nazis now hang out on Twitter, which I think is hilarious to even try and make that claim, given that they're the ones who have been acting so fascistic. I did see that Ron Toye deleted his Twitter account, which
Wait, did he actually?
He did.
Oh man, he blocked me.
Yeah,
I cannot know.
I saw somebody had posted it. It might have been, I don't think it was Ronan. I think it might have been Cosmic Dawn. But anyway, I get a kick out of that, because it's like, okay, so you guys want to get off the one area that I know you're all going to be coming back to. You know, this isn't like, haha, we stuck it to them. We're getting off the one platform that we've eat, slept, and breathed for the last however many years. So I'm like, okay, go ahead and make the veiled threat if you want to.
Well, the funny thing is that those actions proved that they were in fact censoring, that they were using it as a platform to bully, and they were using it as a means to
take away speech that they didn't like,
and to actually abuse. I think that's one of the reasons why Toye really loved Twitter, is that he could once again be the abusive person that he is, except with Twitter it doesn't leave any bruises or anything behind it.
Yeah, except for the emotional scars.
Yeah, because he could just hide behind a blocked wall, which is what he did forever, and then try to come in with like the little zingers, which were terrible, because no one would ever know if he said anything to you, because he would block you.
Yeah, it was very, just as I've said already, a very disingenuous claim for people to be making. But with all that, there's more, we'll say, to use the left's crazy term, misinformation or disinformation. There's been some more stuff coming out in recent days and weeks that people are claiming that we are in an economic rebuilding phase, as it were, which, if you're going to compare 2019 and 2020, 2021 to now, like, yes, an economic rebuilding phase is definitely on the menu for sure, but they're claiming this economic explosion of sorts, and they're talking about, oh yeah, things are actually so much better than they're perceived to be. And you'll see the actual metrics online. You'll see that, oh no, we are GDP is down all across the country, but they're like, but spending is up for people just in general, and monthly spending, so that's really good. And they're trying to say that, oh well, hidden within these actual GDP numbers we are seeing that the spending is higher. So it's actually quite possible that the status of things is not as bad as we initially thought, because why would spending be up if we're supposedly doing so bad? To which the obvious answer is, well, cost of living has gone up immensely, especially like you and I have both seen it for those who rent apartments. Inside New York, they saw an over 20% increase in the cost of rent to live there. They've gone up in Dallas as well. They've gone up in most major metropolitan cities. There, to my knowledge, is not a single city that has not seen significant hikes in the overall cost of rent. And what was really interesting, and this is also a very disingenuous thing to say, is that they were saying, oh, well, yeah, there's been a hike in the costs for renters because the market necessitates it. And you're like, okay, well, let's take a look at that. What does that actually mean, that the market would necessitate it? The necessity arrives out of their competitors raising their prices, not people demanding to have higher prices. And given also that more people, by humongous factors, are leaving cities and heading for rural areas because they don't want to be inside these areas that are just about forbidden to actually be protected by their National Guard or their police, because you have BLM sympathizers or you have Antifa sympathizers that would rather riot and loot and pillage than actually try and keep each other protected. It would stand to reason that the only conceivable way that you could actually say, yes, market has necessitated it, is because you have all these different renting institutions that are having to compete with each other. And even then, if you wanted to really be competitive,
that's really bad. That switching it means you have to.
Switching what?
Like when you switch a when you switch a character, that's where that loading thing.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh well, just like the old boxes, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that's one thing that really irks me a lot, because I'm like, well, it's not really the market then, because if it's one-sided on those who provide the service, then they're only competing with themselves. Like saying, oh yeah, people who are I guess suppliers of gas, gas stations. It's like if two guys who run a station across the street from each other just together one day say, hey, we're gonna raise our prices 20 cents, okay? And then, which I wouldn't put it past people that they would do, just so that they both know that they're gonna make money, instead of having one person say, you know what, I'm gonna just sell gas for 98 cents like it used to be back in the 90s, and if you want to keep yours up there at $3 a barrel, that's totally fine. No, it doesn't make any sense for them to do that. What makes sense is for them to say, hey, look, people gotta have gas, we have it, let's go ahead and bump these prices up 50 cents, both of us today, and we'll both make money. And we're both obviously going to make money because people have to have gas, and since we're the only two providers inside this area, it's going to be a win for both of us. Well, just because we're having to spend more now to stay alive, again, to reiterate, does not entail that we are inside an economic boom of sorts, or even on a climb up. We very really aren't. So,
well, it was like even with the rent thing, like back in,
I don't know.
Like Zach and I, we renewed our lease, and we're gonna well, I guess what I'm getting at is that, like you said, the market fluctuates so bad that you have to pretty much snipe. You have to snipe like a good deal, and they'll put it on the website and stuff like that, but it's one of those things where it's like you found the price that you wanted, but then the very next day it was actually lower, but you're not guaranteed anything because it changes constantly.
Garbage. But yeah, wait, oh shoot, I didn't realize I was still alive, dang it. Yeah, no, and so another interesting thing, and this is just sticking on the whole misinformation, disinformation, lying train. I don't know if you saw this, but there are talks now of a White House established misinformation, disinformation department, as it were.
Oh, okay.
Which more or less is their entire thing is to, and this is going to be in cahoots with a lot of the more left-leaning social media platforms, in cahoots with, I would say, even leftist media, and it's going to be that they're claiming that their entire goal is to try and prevent disinformation, or what would otherwise be known as lies. And so they'll be taking information, doing their fact checking and all that to make sure that the American people and the world are getting the truth. Well, their their way of going about it is actually going to facilitate propagandistic action, and it's so interesting that they're trying to create this disinformation coalition, this disinformation board, because it's very, very reminiscent of the Ministry of Truth from George Orwell's 1984, which was written to be a somewhat satirical commentary on the world because of how things have been going. And it is so dark to actually see people ready to throw their weight behind such a nasty ploy.
Oh my gosh, pathetic.
And check this out. The girl who's supposed to be heading it up, her name is Nina Yankovic, and she was this gal who came out so strongly for Hunter Biden in denying that the laptops had anything to do with the big guy Joe Biden, had anything to do with a potential threat to national security. She was the one who was denying all that crap, and now, which we now know to be 100% true, and it wasn't just one laptop, it was 3. So with all of that, they want to have, she's the one that Joe has apparently asked, not willingly, I guarantee you. He's, again, just a little puppet right now, but she's the one who's essentially his choice right now to be the head of this disinformation board for the White House. So it's as you're fond of saying, it is definitely a clown world out there, but the idea that they would create a Ministry of Truth, as it were, just by a different name, it's like, you almost think, oh boy, you couldn't write this. Well, in this case, yeah, you definitely can, and this is one of those cases where it's fiction begetting real life.
Well, the truth is that there's no such thing as hate speech.
Yep,
and that's what these people are banking on. Again, a coined term, hate speech. There's just stuff you don't like, which unfortunately people have the right to say. You may not like it, which you can just leave or not listen to it or laugh it off, which I think if more people could just laugh off like the insanity of what it is, the words that they think that these, or the idea that words can actually cause physical damage to people lessened, because you just don't take it. You take it with a grain of salt. These people don't know how to take it with a grain of salt anymore, because they made it so extreme that it's like you're dead serious about it.
Yeah, and they don't have the social understanding or sensibilities to just tell somebody when somebody gets them raw, hey, screw you, I don't care. You know, they don't have sense enough to just be like, hey, you know what, I don't have to listen to this, you can get the hell out of here. Everybody takes everything so
seriously
when it stands to suit them or stands to benefit them. So I think
Yep.
I think this whole disinformation board is going to be just a total disaster. And for anybody to claim that it's a good idea, they either need to go back and read some of the classics, or they're willfully ignorant and willfully blinded by their own emotional disaster that is their prefrontal cortex. So yeah, not what I want to see happen, obviously, in this world, because we have enough issues right now inside the US with people essentially thinking that being an American is just hating your country, and wanting to grant concessions for every single person but those who are actually natural born citizens. It's sad. It really is. I want to see some actual nationalism resurge in this country. I want to see some people actually be excited and jazzed to be American-born citizens and live in the freest place still on Earth.
Well, again, it's because these guys take it to the so extreme place of it. It's like man, these people eat, breathe, and sweep all this nationalism idea. It's like, no, like,
it's not bad to be a nationalist.
Well, it's not bad to just, you know, once in a while just sit back and be like, you know, I am very blessed to be in this area where I can, you know, do a lot of things that other people may not. And it's unfortunate that people are in that way, but they made it to the extreme. They've taken it to they take it to the extreme, and they get super mad when people are extreme right back at them.
Mm-hmm. Well, the idea that you can't be proud to be
a bad extreme side of things. Yeah, because there are, you know, obviously people where it's like, whoa.
Well, the idea that you can't be proud to be where you're from, so long as that place is America, it's totally insane. And I'm not saying like nationalists as a white nationalist, where we're talking like actual pseudo Nazis. What I'm saying is, show a sense of national pride, show a sense of actual care for what goes on here inside your own backyard. Because if our police force gets tanked to the point where they can no longer guarantee their own safety while they're supposed to be serving us, then that's a loss for everyone. If our military ends up taking such a hard defeat overseas that we have nobody to defend here, that's a hard nationalistic loss for us, and it's one that would invite a beating from any outside nation who just feels so inclined to invade. It's not a world that I want to be a part of, quite frankly.
Bam those bombs.
But here's one to bring a little bit more levity into the I guess the conversation. And it's not that I'm gloating about this person having contracted this illness, but I do find it darkly humorous, considering all the lies we've been fed over the last 2-3 years. And it's that Maxine Waters has come out and talked about how she has contracted COVID-19, and how she's been quarantining at home, and how she has she is ill, but she's getting through it. The thing that I thought was really wild, though, is that we were all told initially, and we've talked about this plenty, about how, oh, you've got to get the vaccines so that you're protected. And traditionally, vaccines exist so that you don't catch whatever you're being vaccinated for. And that was the understanding. It was, oh yeah, this year, you know, we're getting a vaccination so that we don't catch this horrible Rona. Yes, great. Let's get the vaccination so we all don't get sick from the Rona. But then when everybody started getting sick from the Rona, suddenly the definition of what it meant to be vaccinated was no longer, oh, it prevents you from getting the sickness. It was now, oh, it just mitigates just how badly your symptoms are, which is total crap, complete and utter crap. Anybody inside inside the medical world knows this, and anybody who is inside the medical or scientific world who is saying differently is willfully lying. We'll go and use that misinformation word again.
Just hold it.
Oh, maybe you can. But so there's that. And again, not trying to gloat or, you know, act as though I get my jollies off on elderly people catching the Rona, but I do think it is interesting that even in her sickened state, she still had the gall to say, yeah, I've been double vaxxed and I've been double boosted. Make sure and go get your vaccinations, everybody. Just how about you're a prime example of why I wouldn't want to do that, because you are sick now after having gotten a vaccine for what should have kept you from getting sick. I am not here to play the game any longer. Only game I'm concerned with right now is Metal Slug, not actually playing around with my own life or somebody else's life. Like, and you couldn't get the fare? Oh no!
I think we scrolled the screen.
Oh, did I go too far? Oh well.
Oh well, whatever.
Them's brother breaks, you know. Trying to run away from those what look to be mouth sores with legs. So yeah, that's what I think have been some of the more interesting stories over the last few days, and I guess last week at large. It's really it's frustrating when you have people that are telling you not to believe your lying eyes, or telling you to not believe your lying eyes, because everybody can see what's going on, and if you're still going along with the charade, it means that you are being complicit in it, and that's not a place that anybody should want to be in. It literally is an unlivable existence to try and maintain that, oh yeah, we're doing so well right now, this is great, this is great, this is what we should be doing. Because you look at take Joe Biden for example. You know, we've talked about him a little bit this night.
Oh, we have
just a little bit,
touch,
just a tiny bit. But the poor guy is very clearly in severe mental decline. Like it's quite obvious. There was a clip floating around of him talking, and he's really giving it to this guy. He is just giving this dude the business, and he's eloquent, he's sharp, he's there, he's with it. It's not like he's incoherent. He's very easily understandable, and in comparison to how he is now, he's no longer here. He's simply being trotted out to perform for the left, because they must have something on him.
He needs a sniffer.
Old kid sniffer. But so this was a clip earlier, and this is also another disingenuous thing, and this is going back to Russia. But he was talking about, oh yeah, what are we gonna do to really get back at Vladimir Putin? And the overarching idea, this real gem of a brainstorm here, is he said, we're going to essentially confiscate the rich people's stuff. Oh, we're gonna take their yachts, we're gonna take their stuff, and that's gonna be the way we get back at Vladimir Putin.
Hey Brian, wife and I finished Nintendo Sports. She ordered me at bowling. Ooch.
Ooh, gas.
It's been a while since I played old Nintendo.
But that was what he more or less said at the outset, was, yeah, we're gonna take their stuff, and that'll really show Putin. But then he tries to, somebody from his writing team must have tried to like be coy and like, hey, let's say something really cute and witty that'll really get everybody going here. It'll be the new buzzword. And the word that he tried to say is kleptocracy, because their whole thing is, oh yeah, the elites, the oligarchs, they're clearly oligarchs because they stole everybody's stuff, and so that's why they are this way. So he's like, yeah, so
which most of them are.
So we're gonna go and take all that stuff back from this kleptocracy, yeah, because kleptomaniac and democracy, or kleptomaniac and oligarchy. Yeah, that's his whole thing, and he totally just botched it.
How did he pronounce it?
It's like kleptocracy. It was just about incoherent. The man is not here anymore, unfortunately. And ignoring the fact that that's just a horrible idea and it's built on a bed of lies.
Why even try to have them say big words?
What the nuts? What is going on here? It's
a bridge. That's
the bridge too far for me. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, the whole thing, it just reeks of disingenuousness. And God bless you, Joe. I wish you could get the witty quips out. I really do. I wish you still had the gray matter that you did back in the day to actually put together a cogent simile every now and then. But tell your writing staff to stick with two-syllable words, and maybe three at the most. We'll see. Democracy. Okay, you get four syllable words. And not trying to be mean, calling it as I see it here. The poor guy is really he's under someone's knuckle, and I think it's Pelosi's. So yeah, that's largely what I've been.
That's what you've been scoping about.
That's what I've been keeping up with, and
I've been.
Of course, a few other things which we can get into later, but I'm eager to see what the old Gimp's been tracking down.
Well, I have been.
Wow, that orca just ate that dude.
Good, the good man.
Oh my gosh.
That orca. Let's see. I mean,
dude, let's get his gun. Yeah.
No, it's just the heavy machine gun.
See you in hell. It should be the super heavy machine gun. I mean, he was running around with an M60. What?
Well, I mean, I guess since you kind of talked about Musk and whatnot.
Old Musker.
Old Musker. Dude, there was this awesome tweet that has been with Musk and AOC.
Oh?
Yeah, I did have it saved. Let me pull her up here.
Oh, you got a cold. You just sneezed.
Oh, I'm sick. What to do? Let's see.
Can't be sick, Greg. Don't be sick. Oh my gosh, I just jumped. I saved you by killing myself. Ah, greater love hath no man or woman than this.
You think I would have saved it? Well, in any case, I can find it here real quick. But oh, Brian says, oh, Musk owned her. Yes, so AOC pretty much was running. Well, would you look at that? Because everyone's tweeting about it. And it's so awesome.
Tell me.
So AOC made a failed backhand comment of tired of having to collectively stress, brought about by yourself. There's nothing to be stressed about what explosions of hate crimes is happening, and this is talking about Twitter, because some billionaire with an ego problem unilaterally controls a massive communication platform and skews it because Tucker Carlson or Peter Thiel took him to dinner and made him feel special. And Musk responds by simply stating, "Stop hitting on me. I'm really shy. And then
that's so good.
And then the shy emoji.
Dude,
I saw that about 10 minutes ago. Dude, like the people I follow, they're blowing up on it. And again,
it's so dumb. It's like, really? Come on.
This is where it's like, and of course it's AOC because she has to stay relevant by continuing to be this extreme person that she portrays herself to be. When
it's like, remember when you lied about the events of January 6th and nothing you said ever mattered? Because I remember that. Where is she? Oh, yes.
Not even in the same building.
Yeah, down the street, in fact. It's like, come on. It's so funny. Everybody's making this thing out to be like, oh yeah, this rich dude. Oh, you spent $50 billion on this platform. You could have just ended world hunger. I'm like, okay, well, first off, it's up to him. Whatever what he does with his money. You're not going to tell somebody how they have to spend their money. That's how you get stabbed in the throat.
And hid in her office before the events even happened. Yeah, almost like she knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it's like, who are you to tell somebody how to spend their money? And then secondly, Elon already offered $6 billion to the UN to end world hunger, provided that they tell him exactly where every penny was going. And they're the ones who didn't take him up on the offer. So when I see people commenting that, I'm like, oh, you shameful.
It's going to be impossible.
Shameful.
It's going to be impossible because if we want to get more at the biblical roots, Jesus said there's always going to be poor people.
Oh, yeah.
So this idea of ending world hunger not only is pretty much impossible, but if anything, it's going to be the Antichrist is going to be the one that's going to use it because he solves, for the time being, supposedly all the world's problems. And I guarantee you world hunger is going to be one of the big reasons why everyone will come together.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can definitely feed the world, but you're still gonna have the poor people.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like you fed them.
Great.
Does that mean you're constantly going to give them money to work? Hashtag doubt.
Yeah,
or X to doubt for that one, big time.
Because we've already proven that just throwing money at a situation does not improve.
Well, that's what the Democrats. It's one of their main ideology. They think money solves the problem. But of course, it's other people's money. It's not theirs because they purposely keep it under a certain amount. So then they can be like, "Oh, look at me! I don't make that much money. I'm not part of the 1%." It's like, well, you are. You are one of the 1%.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't have the
Brian X. Thank you.
We don't have the
one X.
Yes. We don't have the ability to have like what is afforded to the elites within our nation's highest political offices, we don't have the ability that they do to have somebody come over and just reinforce our homes with steel and rebar infused concrete to weather bombs. Excuse me, bombs and 50 cal BMGs. We don't
bombs
on the taxpayers' dime, might I add. We don't have that luxury. And I know that you see it happen inside House of Cards for Frank Underwood. Yeah, that kind of stuff absolutely does happen. That it's not just them, trying to be like, oh yeah, this is the fantasy world of political elites. No. These houses are built to be able to stand so much in the way of explosives or just bullets, fire. They are built to last.
Poor little squib guys.
I know, but their acid just pours out of their
I just thought
faces.
it was funny because I haven't heard of the AOC in a while saying something stupid, so it was great. I think there was actually a response I saw.
Oh.
It gets better. I was talking about Zuckerberg, but okay. Responded AOC. Gosh, why
goodness.
Is there a legit actual chemical reason why the left are terrible at memeing? I do not understand.
Dude, it's so dumb because it's like AOC, you're falling directly into the trap of feeding trolls. Has your stupid comments and your stupid actions from January 6th not taught you anything?
All those we're up on top.
What am I gonna do? Eat a teddy bear? Your boat's just gonna die.
Would hug it. Would hug the teddy bear.
I'll behead it. Oh, here we go. The sky's on fire. What?
Oh my gosh, aliens turning on the people. Who would have thought?
Oh my god.
Hard to mean with a corn cob up your arse. And he's dead.
Oh my. Wow. So I guess they saw us and they were like, you know what? These guys kill us real good. We better work with them. Oh my. And do we have to fight these guys now? Hey, look at this. They're like, yeah, we'll kill your enemies. Guess we can come at you. Oh,
yes, but,
watch out for the electric zapper. Don't let it get you, Greg.
It's hard to do that when I'm looking over at my notes.
No, you will do the notes at the same time that we play this game.
I mean, I guess a lot of the stuff I saw is a lot of entertainment and kind of what's happening around Twitter and stuff like that. One thing I think that's pretty funny is that Batwoman on the CW is officially done. The seasons are done and everything's canceled.
Completely done. It's canceled. Oh, we were talking about it last time.
Well, I think it's now official sort of thing.
Like it's canceled, or it's just they're done making it.
I believe it's canceled and they're not making it anymore because one can only make Batman in a retcon Batman to where everyone's African American so much until people realize that, wow, this is hot garbage.
Well, you can also only give us female characters that are painful to watch and painful to stomach so many times before people say, you know what, I'm tired. I'm tired of these androgynous weirdo chicks who have nothing but disdain for their male counterparts.
Now, I will plead ignorance on this because I never watched the show, but the picture I saw was Batwoman, who was portrayed by an African American actress, and I want to say a black Bruce Wayne Batman was part of that. I don't know, but it was just hilarious. I was like, because I was like, when was this guy introduced? I never.
Are you sure you weren't watching a live action Count Chocula?
I don't know. I mean, I should have just watched Dracula Dead and loving it with Mel Brooks, his last movie that didn't do so hot, but I thought it was a zinger. Oh, I never watched it, but.
Are we going up to the mothership?
Yeah, we are, fool.
Ooh, or are they just getting out of here?
But it just goes to show that because even there's stuff. Oh, that reminds me. There was even something in I think it was another Spider-Man wannabe chick who's Prego.
Wait, hold on.
They're now trying to
in the story she's pregnant, or she just got pregnant and they're like, hey, let's work it in.
No, one of her shticks of being Spider-Man is that she's pregnant.
So is she gonna carry a sack of babies on her back now, like a pregnant spider?
when you are falling from a building, expect a web to be shot underneath you to catch you. You look up to say thank you to your savior, and there's some Prego Spider Woman like swinging by telling you, "Good job, like take care, citizen. We're done."
No problem. I'm cramping like mad, but I'm glad I could save you today.
Pretty much. That one was so obviously pathetic that I didn't even bother looking into it, because you could just tell that it's gonna be set up to fail.
Oh my gosh.
Like, no one cares about a Prego superhero. No one.
Oh my gosh. Oh shoot, these guys are on our team. I've been trying to kill them.
Well, if anything, it goes to show that you don't really care about that baby, because I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do extraneous stuff while you're pregnant.
You're not supposed to fly at 7 months pregnant, and this chick's slinging from buildings and fighting bad guys.
I think so, or it's like a Superman superhero. Again, that's how much I was interested in learning more about it. Was I just saw the pic and immediately said, "Nope, I'm good."
I got 2 sentences in, and I went, you know what?
They got enough of my attention, just me bringing it up.
Yeah.
But again, it goes to show that the entertainment industry I guarantee is starting to lose stuff. In fact,
they're losing their minds.
There's actually last I heard as well, like G4 is like completely, like, it may not, I don't know if,
a woke tragedy now.
Well, no, it may not even be around anymore, because of stupid Frost saying all that crap to pretty much tell men to go away, sort of thing.
Yeah, way to alienate 80% of your viewer base.
Well, that's what's happening. All the guys are like, okay, fuck you, we're done, sort of thing, and they're leaving, and like G4 may not exist.
I'm not gonna mourn the loss.
I'm not gonna mourn the loss. I never watched G4. I thought it was kind of campy and fake for the most part. Like,
it's really hard to get on board when somebody every time they go to comment is like, all right guys, you gotta check this out, blah 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 blah.
I've always never been a huge fan of the hypers of that scene. I'm just like, dude, just tone it down a little bit, let's just talk. Like, you can tell when someone is very passionate about a game and
absolutely
and doesn't talk like that. Like, there's a difference between that's all they talk about, but they're talking to you like how we're talking right now, and the gamer who's the salesman. Yeah, like that is how that is how I've always pictured like the G4 gaming and stuff like that. That's how I always see these people, and it just makes you question their authenticity. Angron the Red says, "Got my Twitter back, boys." Dude, you were banned? I didn't know that. Dude, nice. Yes. Good. I'm glad. Congrats, man. Oh yeah, Nick got his original one.
Ricada Law. No longer bad name.
Hopefully I wonder if he could merge those. Can you like merge? I doubt it. I didn't see Nick like post anything like, hey, like I got my account back. Like, come on.
I think he just changed the name.
You just well, in any case,
the guy isn't dead. Oh.
G4 is, let's see, DDTV is greater to Tech TV is greater than G. See, I don't know any of those, and I would give them the benefit of the doubt, but I feel like all those is just would be, like I said, those salesman gamers, which just gets. Wait,
nice.
Did we beat the game?
We did it.
We cleared Metal Slug X. Apparently, I did not.
On to the next one.
That must be something for you. I could have sworn. But in any case, dude, the entertainment industry is failing big time.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that so sensitive. Okay, what? Okay.
Greg's in the SS.
Shit.
Yeah, they're out of ideas, and it really sucks, because it's like, look, give me something else to root for. Don't just go back and redo all the things that we love. If you want to make a strong hero who's a woman, then make a strong hero, but can't we just have a new hero altogether?
Angron says, banned 2 years ago. Nick didn't get his original account back, just changed the name.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Got his name back.
Apparently calling fatties fat is still a no-no.
Gas.
I mean,
oh no, what have I done? I didn't mean to do that.
Eric, you've done this so many times. I'm gonna hit you.
Sorry. I didn't want to do it.
Eric, back up.
I didn't want to do it. There we go.
Hold and square to speed up the thing.
Oh, we can both hold X to speed it up.
But apparently calling fatties fat is still a no. I mean, you're just calling the kettle black. This is what the channel was once called. It started as ZTTV, then Tech TV, and finally G4. I'm old. Man, that just goes to show on how much I did not care about that, because I mean, the only time I ever remember watching the gaming thing is obviously when you walk into GameStop, but that's just an obvious sort of thing. Like, I think we had it up on the lube a little bit.
Yeah, it was.
And when I say lube, that's Super Lube, an oil exchange place.
Gays
Let all the
joining
gay
town.
comments fly, because I know it's funny.
Bring him. Okay, how do we go back to the menu? You know how to do this.
I'm gonna have to punch you.
I didn't hit anything.
No, I pushed start.
Oh, okay.
Okay, gosh, are you kidding? There we go.
Hooray.
Hooray! Back to main menu. Yeah, it's the entertainment industry needs. I think it's really on the verge of a wake-up call. I was gonna say it needs one, but I think due to all this garbage happening, and people they're realizing that we need to hopefully fix it. And that's why we talked a lot about it the last time. That's why a lot of people are going independent or starting up their own stuff, because they're wanting to combat it. But it's also something to where we also need to combat it into the area itself.
Yeah, well, people also don't want to have to be forced to, all right, let me make sure I include all this stuff. Let me make sure I advertise for this person, or I include this girl, or make sure that this race or this sexual orientation is represented. This is my favorite one, by the way. Super good.
Is this the one with the zombies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love number
Watched
3.
Tech TV and G4 until Sarah left, and it just got dumb and less about video. Oh yeah, because they, I mean, like I said, advertisement, you're gonna find the 3 themes. Every advertisement, you're gonna see sex, money, and power. Every advertisement is gonna have that theme somewhere in there, and I know they used a lot of sex in that. But
yeah, it's like gamer girls spelled with the U versus gamer gals spelled with an A. The gamer girls are the ones who are like taking the cutesy photos with their controller in their lap and their little cat ear headphones on. The ones who don't actually play the games.
So who's ready for the third new Ministry of Tooth is basically this. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, Angron. Yeah, we just hilarious. Like it just goes to show that they know that when Elon bought Twitter and it gets finalized, that they're gonna go, well, we need to do something to make sure misinformation doesn't get spread, like the instant response. So they know that they're up its creek without a paddle, because they're the ones that initiated it. That power got taken away from them. They're super mad. So now they're trying to be like, whoa, no, we're gonna start a bureau here that makes sure to, which I don't like. What are you gonna do? Like, if it's gonna get to the point where you spread information and then a couple of people knock on your door to be like, hey, did you say, like, there's gonna be some beatings, I guarantee you, that will be happening.
Yeah,
because people are so tired now. That's starting to become like straight up, brown coats, man. That's brown shirts.
Yeah, if you start walking around like actual Gestapo trying to tell people, hey, you can't say that no more, people will start laying people up in graves.
Be prepared for a closed casket, because that's what's gonna happen. Being an idiot or wrong is definitely covered. The first
We'll get the chasers.
Definitely covering the first.
We got a monkey with the machine. Look at a monkey with an Uzi.
And he has a diaper.
We
so
got
he doesn't throw his poop.
We got a monkey with an Uzi.
I went there. He's so cute. Look at him with that little.
That little baby got a head.
Little curly curl.
Darn it,
what would you call that hairstyle with the
Jerry curl? I don't know. Dropper.
I don't know. Well, in any case, I guess we'll transition from, again, kind of thing. So more stuff with the Johnny Depp and Amber trial.
Yes.
Just looking absolutely terrible for Amber Heard. Court pretty much proved that Amber Heard didn't. Oh, and I fell in the water. Of course. Amber Heard did not keep up her promise of donating to ACLU.
Didn't Johnny also, or didn't Elon make like a 300 something?
So everyone was like, I know at some point some people are like, Elon, don't be a simp for Amber Heard. I'm more than positive he saw what was happening and got out of that thing real quick. Like, dude, this this bitch is psycho. Like, I need to get out quick. So good job, Elon, for getting out of that that dumpster fire when you had the chance. I don't know if that's who she was cheating on during Johnny.
Cheating with,
or whatever. But in any case, I might have missed that part because I was kind of bouncing back and forth. But I'm more than positive, like, yeah, not only did Johnny give her money that she used to look like she was donating, but Elon as well. So she just looked absolutely like a terrible person. They're like bringing in the bodyguards to talk about like,
oh no,
to talk about like, with the hopes that they're gonna clarify that Amber was abused. And not only are a lot of them saying like no, like this dude, some zingers, great, like one bodyguard making fun of them, like when they're freaking out that like someone's trying to get into their room and there's scratches on the door, but it was her freaking dog.
Oh my god!
Like, dude, he's making fun of him.
Like, yeah, her little Pomeranian, her little 4-pound.
Dude, there's this one Scottish guy who Rottenborn is like, so you caught Johnny like urinating in like a certain point or something.
I saw that.
And he's like, no. He's like, well,
you saw him with his penis out in the
foyer. His penis out, and he's like, I'm pretty sure that I would not forget this, what Johnny's penis looks like. Dude, hilarious. Oh my gosh.
That's
like,
so great.
These colorful characters are amazing, and I wish nothing for the best of them.
Oh, let me get that.
Oh, sorry.
Go down there and get that guy there. He's gonna drop like a weather.
Yeah, I have to like.
You gotta, I'll kill him with my blood.
Nice. It was so funny.
You grab his thing. This is awesome. It's like a lightning striker machine. Cloud.
There we go. We got a cloud.
Yeah, the cloud. It's
all
great.
Right. I will.
Don't abuse it though. You gotta make sure it's above zombies.
Well, I'm not. I don't think I'm controlling it.
You are. Every time you fire it, zaps.
Oh, wow, that's really confusing.
Lord have mercy.
I know.
Oh, what have we done?
I'm just trying to make sure that everyone. Oh, there's a first aid. Get that shit.
Dude, this is tough.
And there's kind of a combination. So there's like some dude who like only watched one part of Nick's stream and then wrote a whole piece about the manosphere. I instantly stopped the minute I saw the
manosphere.
Yeah, I instantly stopped reading when he said manosphere, because that's like some Jack Murphy like sort of garbage that making up, like male patriarchy and all that stuff.
Manosphere.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. Don't worry about it. But it's the guy's calling out on this, of course, labeling Ricada in a tweet as alt-right and all that stuff, or siding with alt-right stuff, because because men can't support being men, and obviously using the Amber Depp versus Heard trial as a means to showcase that, pretty much as a zinger to showcase that, like, oh yeah, you're just trying to use this to show up that men get abused too, but the numbers are still there that women still get a lot more abused and stuff, and then like tries to point like prison and stuff like it's just completely pathetic. Wow. Scotsman was amazing. Didn't put up with Rottenborn's shit. Oh yeah, it was hilarious. I loved it. Men with dildos in their asses teaching other men how to be men. This equals scam. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
That's pretty much what the manosphere is. As told by Jack Murphy and other fakers. Yeah, anybody that says I will teach you how to be a man, instantly ignore, instantly don't follow. No one, like, how to be a man is pretty obvious. And obviously one of it's trying not to upsell this idea that having stuff shoved up your butt is alpha.
Dude.
I was so alpha that I had to convert to beta to like get a new sort of feeling in my life. No, that just means that you've done all the sex depraved things that you could think of, and now you need something new.
Yeah.
To help yourself out there.
Like, in what world is that okay? Ugh.
Oh, I can't shoot you out of there.
You don't gotta shoot me. I'll get myself out, yeah. Oh my gosh, we're killing Yetis.
Yep, they're the Yetis.
Or like, they almost look like Morlocks from Time Machine. You ever see that movie?
Nope.
Good movie. Great movie.
So yeah, and
Burns their retinas with matches.
oh, so the more I just see of them and stuff, the more Amber just comes out as a gold digger, and it's pretty sad because what's also funny too, then that of course that the minute her and Johnny like, I guess officially broke it off, she instantly became a lesbian.
Well, she was married to a woman before him, who she also beat.
I'm pretty sure, but I'm pretty sure I thought she said she identifies as a lesbian. If anything, I figured she'd be bi, but
yeah, she.
I don't know. I guess you can just change whatever, you know.
Yeah, she had a wife
All about
before
that
Johnny,
fluidity.
and she actually was charged with domestic assault.
Northman was great, but real trippy. Saw it last night.
Oh, I need to see that. I've been hearing it's pretty good.
I've been seeing ad commercials. I'll tell you what ad commercial I'm tired of seeing of is that terrible voiceover dub of that one game where you're the guy and you're trying to get the gold and the water and stuff like that. It's like Tales of, it's like, guys, are you always tired of downloading games and the game is nothing like the ad? Well, I finally found the game, and like, oh my gosh.
Oh, the ones where it's like the people sitting there just have no interest whatsoever in what they're doing.
Okay, the voiceover is to me, the voiceover doesn't match the actor who's saying it. But not only that, like, it was poorly lip read and sunk to make it sound like it's coming from the guy. Like the inflections of the actor is completely different to the inflections of like the voiceover. And I cannot tell you how many times I've seen that freaking ad, and it gets so tiring after a while.
We has an elephant.
Be a man, you must have honor and a penis.
You also have to be swift as a coursing river.
Mm-hmm.
As mysterious as the dark side of a moon.
Oh my gosh,
as powerful as a raging fire. As
just killing
furious as a great typhoon.
I need to stay behind you.
You also can't allow yourself to be scared to death. We'll see right. Oh, I shoot fire out of his trunk. Oh, this elephant is amazing.
Trunk. I love that. His
Trunk. He's an elephant. He shoots fire.
Vomit.
Oh,
love it.
Run!
Imagine Johnny going through all that and not getting blades, and she hits for the other team. I super hashtag doubt on any sort of action happening during that marriage.
I mean, Johnny Depp.
I don't know, man.
Oh no, my elephant! Quickly, Greg, ride the elephant.
I will.
Shoot the fire with the elephant.
Oh, it's your bomb. Nice.
I'm all out of bombs. Crap.
You vomited too much.
You used up all the elephant bombs. The fire bombs.
Unfortunately, I cannot control my elephant fire.
Oh, can I ride him as a zombie? Oh, no, I can't. Oh, alas.
Alas.
Use your puke. Your power puke. I do love playing as zombies.
I hate that ad too, Greg. In that ad, now the guy has the fake voice. Dude, just pay attention to it. Yeah, if it's like some... I hate to say it, but if it's like some Asian dude and it's like, guys, you always remember... You always get tired of downloading apps that you see advertised and it doesn't turn out to be the game? Well, I finally found the game. Tales of Enron or whatever. And it's like the game where you're the guy and like you have to pull out
I was just wondering that. I hate those because I clicked on them when I was scrolling through Instagram. I'm like, oh, this looks fun. Not at all what it was.
No, it was hot garbage and I hate the ads. It showed up. And then there's some other guy who's like, the director was like, we just need variety, and probably said, you know what, that was a good take, let's just move on, because his is not as selling as the other guy.
Like, sure, I don't absolutely hate it.
But I hate that. I hate that garbage so much.
I'm gonna stay a zombie the whole time, and we're gonna slay.
Continuing with some Twitter stuff. It seems that Elon is doing a good job making sure that maps are getting suspended and accounts being banned. Because there was a tweet, and I don't even know what the guy's name is. He doesn't even deserve to be acknowledged. But he's like, thank you. kind of tongue-in-cheek, like, thank you, Elon Musk. Now maps can explain their positions of XYZ, and so that people can get a better understanding about that stuff. Needless to say, that account got suspended because the comments just immediately. Sorry.
No, I didn't want it, because watch, I'm gonna kill these dudes so fast.
Oh, nice. The account immediately got suspended because, and I say this with pure honesty, kind of jokingly, but also with a strict warning. The only time a map is ever appropriate is when the police is using it to find the rotting corpse that was buried. That is
Of a pedophile.
Of a pedophile. That is the only time when a map is appropriate. But yeah, this, like, I'm seeing a lot of crackdowns on maps and that kind of ties in with Damon Mills. Damon Mills recently made a statement. Once again, pretty much. Oh, and I'm blocked. He blocked me, by the way. So I wear that with a badge of honor. I don't know what I did that got him so upset. I just said, okay, groomer. But the statement was exactly like what was said before, claiming that he didn't use his lawyer to silence the person. Completely disingenuous. And once again,
just own it, because that's what the lawyer's there for.
Completely disowning the believe all victims sort of mentality, and people really got onto it at the time.
Did they really?
That I noticed too. Last I checked, there was not a whole lot of art likes and stuff like that.
You get ratioed?
Yeah. Insanely disingenuous, and in anything, it was actually kind of almost. It was a blessing because the people who did were like, we're supportive and all that stuff. Like, obviously, groomer supporters. Because what was done is inexcusable, sort of thing. So I just noticed that there's just been a lot of crackdowning on maps and whatnot. Because a newsflash, your sexuality ain't gonna save you. For that sort of disgusting chemical imbalance. Now, granted, there's people who have. We said this before. If you seek help, like if you.
Yep.
Whether it's by choice or a chemical imbalance, once you act on that, then that's like, nope, you done goofed. Like, you should have sought help when you needed to.
Yep.
Sort of thing. You chose not to. Be prepared for very upset parents, more so I think dads who will not have a problem into taking action. And that's actually what a lot of the comments I read by the one guy were saying. A lot of dads pretty much saying to the extent of, yeah, you will no longer be alive if you even come near my kid, sort of thing, which I'm not opposed of. To protect one's child, whatever means you think that should be taken. Aren't most movies, TV, and commercials? Reading some comments here. Angron says, aren't most movies, TVs, and commercials dubbed and the voices put into post? No, not with movies.
Only in specific scenes in movies.
Yeah, in specific scenes. So, like, for example, one of the scenes would be there's an outdoor scene. They might still have a what is it, a boom mic that's hanging above to at least capture the additional recordings of the dialogues between the actors. But if there's still a lot of background noises happening, they're going to edit it out, and then that's where the dubbing's going to be. But a lot of times, no. It just depends on the situation. You would know more than me.
Actually, a movie that we watched not too long ago has a great show of this, which is ADR, so it is automated dialogue replacement, so a dub, is actually the movie Walking Tall with The Rock. There's a scene inside there where him and the girl that he's in love with, they're walking on this gravel path. Now they're a good probably 80 yards away from the camera walking up this path. You hear the crunches on the gravel as though you're right there next to them, and they're just talking like normal volume like we are right now to each other, and you're hearing them as though they're right there in front of you. Obviously that wouldn't be the case, so those are the instances where yes, they will do ADR for regular movies, or if there's a raining scene, well, you're not going to have rain competing with the person's voice, so you'll film the scene, you'll have everybody do their lines, but you'll know full well, yeah, this is going to be dubbed afterwards because we have to be able to hear what's actually being said.
Yeah, it just depends on the scene. Because I remember seeing Hugh Jackman recording stuff when like Wolverine's running, and stuff like that. Like obviously you can't. You're running through a scene, and if you have dialogues while you're running somewhere, there's no way you're not going to be out of breath doing it. So obviously that's little Hollywood magic's used to make it crystal clear to hear that stuff too.
Plus you can't have some guy just running behind you with a boom mic.
Exactly.
It would look stupid.
Exactly. Although that does remind me of this one video of, I think it's like a Japanese, I don't know if it's the Japanese Olympics, but there's a Japanese like like 50-yard dash being recorded and stuff, and the guy who's recording actually runs alongside with the runner and actually beats all the runners.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's so hilarious, like, to record it. Like, the guy who's just faster than everyone, than the professional athletes. Super funny. Don Wander says, they want maps to be included with LGBTQ, AIF, XYZ+. Exactly, and that's, I obviously not going down that long rabbit hole unless we want to talk about that, but their maps, I think, is definitely going to be the line where people be like, no, you do not cross this, and if you do, there will be consequences.
Yep.
Sort of thing.
Absolutely.
And it's unfortunate that it would even have to come to that because, you know, we live in a broken, sinful world, and there's people out there that hide behind their sexuality and stuff because they're a protective class. Damon Mills obviously being one of them, and having people in the industry to support his disgusting actions simply because, you know, he's a homosexual.
It gets really gross when you notice a double standard, and it's not even though they're trying to be coy about it. It's like it's blatantly in your face, like we said before with the whole, hey, don't believe your lying eyes. That's what's so maddening, and the fact that everybody sees it and everybody is saying something about it, but they're just being ignored. That's why you see Disney stock plummeting. That's why you see Netflix's stock plummeting. That's why you saw so many people posting up pictures of themselves canceling their Netflix account, their Disney account, their Funimation account, because they had it. They were tired of it. They were
that's me. I'm sorry.
They were tired of being lumped in with a bunch of loudmouth psychopaths and then being browbeaten over the head for not taking up every single cross that whichever one of these places decided they were going to take up that week.
Angron says, in the old days, Mills would have been mysteriously vanished and the neighborhood would get a new speed bump unexpectedly. You know, joking aside, I was actually thinking about this earlier, especially when these sort of people tried to make the argument of like trying to bring up, you know, if you're self-declared a Christian, and like would God be supportive of this? And it's like, do you realize that if Christians today actually took the stance of like what the Judeo-Christian culture back then was, you do realize that a lot of people would be executed. There was a reason why why the Judeo-Christians had no jails whatsoever, because they struck down whatever evil was there, and God was fine with it.
And they were expected to do it expeditiously.
Yes, and they were expected to do it. So, like, count your blessings.
Seriously.
Count your blessings that, you know, people aren't holding that up. Because Jesus even because Jesus declared, he said, I'm here to fulfill the law and also, to provide a new law, that there's a new way to live your life, and that, through the Holy Spirit and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about trying to fulfill those impossible laws to do.
The gas. Oh crap.
Oh, sorry. Here, maybe I can.
If there's some more, let me grab it.
Let me.
Well, and here's something that drives me nuts too, and I've talked about this before. When somebody will say, "Oh, it's we're Christians and it's bad to hate." No, wrong. Hating is a component of being Christ-like, of emulating your heavenly Father. But you have to be able to use your anger, not let it become malicious and simply savage or rageful for the sake of being malicious, savage, and rageful. You have to have some tact, as it were. You have to have an understanding of when you're being corrective versus when you're actually trying to hurt, when you're trying to be malicious. Left. But yeah, there's such a supreme misunderstanding about what it actually is to follow a Christian walk, to act accordingly, and it drives me nuts when people look at. Because when I craft some of the things that I say on Twitter, if I have to give a firm rebuke one way or the other, you'll notice that I am not vulgar. I am not some kind of just malice slinging psycho. I am very, very pointed in what I say, and I do so because it's, number one, it's necessary to call out the lies where you see them, especially when it involves something that the church absolutely has a say in. And secondly, when you do find yourself within the world that we live in, you do get a say in what goes on in it. If you notice something is illegal or something is bordering on pedophilic, that needs to be called out immediately. And so when I bring light to a situation on there, some people have taken that as me bashing others or me being some kind of crazy blowhard. And it's because what I say is harsh, because it's meant to be both punishing and bring correction. But I do my best to never, ever, ever let it simply devolve into me muckraking or me being sadistic or me being me being malicious. I work very, very hard to make that never be the case.
I'm the exact opposite. I tend to get a little crude here and there and stuff, because I do enjoy a fair amount of trolling. I do sometimes let the Bugs Bunny mentality of fight fire with fire sometimes take a little bit strong, but obviously, yeah, we need to there's nothing wrong with being precise and blunt and truthful about it.
Yeah.
And not having to swear to for your sentence and answer.
Yeah. Well, and quite frankly, if you're an actual self-proclaimed Christian and you don't upset a certain amount of people by the things that you say when you're speaking earnestly and truthfully, then you're doing it wrong. Because the things that you will say, if you are speaking in truth and you are acting and behaving authentically, they will upset a great number of people, because it is what is uncommon. It's this code that we live by, which is a very hard code to live by, and there are certain things that need to be observed. It's why you look at the Apostle Paul. He writes letters to the churches, and while he does a fair amount of building up and a fair amount of instructing for every good work, he also does a fair amount of admonishing. And if he was on the social media game in this current day and age, you would see him on there doing a lot of the same and calling out the insanity where he sees it.
You actually did a very good episode on your Tough Love podcast about the cussing Christian, where one of the things to actually understand is that not all swear words are actually bad. A lot of the verses at times that talk about in the Bible talk about actually putting curses, actually cursing people. Jesus cursed a fig tree. we tend to kind of glisten over that because it was more of a, it was the metaphor of Israel and all that stuff. But don't discount the cursing of the fig tree, because that actually showed case that you could say stuff. Let's see. Elijah pretty much said, "Where's your God? He must be
taking a dump."
Taking a dump. Solomon said in the end, everything is pretty much piss in the wind. I think Elijah also said menstrual rags, or someone's on the rag, sort of thing.
Yeah, so Paul called his own holiness akin to menstrual rags. Paul also called his own holiness reuse, which stands for animal feces or bullshit.
Yep. See, so you know, again, obviously when they say watch what you're saying in the scripture, it's obviously the don't be saying it to insult people.
Yeah, say
kind of and stuff like that. But and Ben Shapiro also said it best. God doesn't mind a little. He's not going to be super upset over a little potty mouth. Obviously, it shouldn't be turned into a master where you can't.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been some stuff that Angron redacted a message. No, I was gonna read it, but that's all right. He says jails and prisons, as we think of them, especially sentences for an amount of time, are fairly modern concept. Yep, they used to be places you kept people till they died or till their execution. Yes, and that is where a lot of people are. This is why the left are so opponents for that of that false mentality of we need to make we need to make sure everyone is innocent and stuff like that, and that's why they're against the death penalty and all that stuff, because they are putting on this false facade and this idea that every life is sacred, but yet they murder babies. But that's a whole nother thing. So we need to make sure everyone gets a fair trial, and we have to do it humanely and stuff like that. No, back in the day, jails were, if you were in jail, expect to die there, sort of thing. So yes. Brian said, I heard someone say that we all swim in the same pool, and I don't want to swim in your filth. Yep. The gospel is offensive because it directly confronts the sins of the world. Exactly. That's part of when I would sit down and kind of say to myself, why do I even follow this? This is so ridiculous. Some of the stuff is so a thing. That's one of the things that I would counter back to myself with, because it's one of the it's not one. It is the only religion where it doesn't glorify you to where you do these steps and you will get closer to salvation, to find nirvana, to do this, to do that. It is the one that said no. Actually, everything you do is not right. It's wrong. It's sinful. You are in essence your body. The Bible talks about your spirit, your soul, and your flesh, your body. So the body, when you're born and you come into this world, is inherently sinful. Adam and Eve were clothed in light, and when they disobeyed God, that light was shed, and the human body essentially became what it is, inherently evil, inherently sinful. You have your spirit, which pretty much tells you you know what's right from wrong, because God made you that way. God made you to know what was right, what was wrong. Just simply obey Him, and you could do what, you could essentially do whatever you wanted. You were with God, and nothing was wrong. Everything was perfect and right in His eyes. You would have lived forever. And then you have your soul, which you could pretty much summarize as your emotion. And you have this constant battling going back and forth. That is what it is.
Yeah, with also commenting on what we see out in the world, there is also a lot to be given to Paul's instruction of, hey, why am I going to try and judge outside of the church? For then I'd have to go outside the church. Why I'm not called to judge the world. I'm called to judge those within the church. And yes, some people, they say, oh, so why do you even bother commenting on what goes around in the world? Well, because if you're actually in polite society and there are certain laws, as the Bible says, whatsoever is bound on earth is also bound up in heaven.
Yep, there will be hierarchy, heaven.
Yeah, there's also an understanding that laws that are held true here, so long as they don't violate God's first and foremost law, then those laws are understood to be, when you violate them, a sinful action down here. So there is credence to speak on those things. Now, you don't judge those people who aren't Christians or don't claim to be of the faith. You don't judge them by the same standard, obviously, that you would judge a Christian, because you recognize that, hey, they don't have or don't live by the same moral compass that I do. So I have to essentially recognize that I'm talking to a heathen. You know, I'm not going to demand the same thing from a heathen that I would from somebody who's supposed to be my spiritual brother or sister. But
don't demand it, but don't back away from explaining what it is.
Yeah, and also don't back away from,
especially if they get offended by it, because that's not your problem.
Yeah, also don't shy away from recognizing that it is on you to speak up when you have something to say, because when you have something to say, silence is a lie. And you can't live in that. That will drive you out of your mind.
And Gron says, so since we've gone full religion now, free will or predetermined? Free will.
Free will. And I can actually, I'll make a very quick argument about free will. So God talks about those whom he called, to him he also predestined to be sons of God. Not that he has taken away their choices to be sons of God, but that for his intention in drawing them was that they would become sons of God. Now, when it talks about, okay, do we have free will or is everything predestined? Well, there's actually a great moment inside 1 Samuel where David is running from King Saul. This is when Saul is hot on his heels, and so he is staying, I believe, in, where was he? Was he staying in Ur? He was staying in an area. I forget the area that he was staying in, but he needed to know what to do next, and so he called a priest to him and said, "Hey, I need you to inquire of God for me. Ask him, if I stay here, will Saul come and essentially kill all of us?" And God says, yes, if you stay where you are, Saul will come and will put you guys to ground, as it were. So David doesn't stay there, and he leaves, and they escape. So God knew something that never happened. God knew something that could have taken place, but it never happened. It was not predetermined. So we do have free will, absolutely.
Plus, it's the old, for me, it's the old argument, the kind of like your standard argument. It's like, we would be robots if that's the case. Like,
well, it would also make salvation of no value.
Yeah, it would mean,
because it'd be like it would make God out effectively to be a kid playing with GI Joes. Your GI Joes can't say no to you.
Yeah.
You gotta call Mama Joe, tell her boy ain't coming home.
Someone was asleep on guard, dude. Aren't you all AWOL? Aren't you all a-hole? Semper Fry, do or shut up.
Semper Fry, it's so good.
Y'all are Armenians then?
Armenians? I don't know. I don't get the joke, but I do appreciate a good. Oh, what? I didn't even touch that thing, man. What's up? Now I'm gonna have to kill this guy. This giant lion in the sky, or lion dragon. What is this thing? I hate this guy. His little ghost hounds.
I always picture, like, I always try to like picture when it comes to free will. It's imagine. It's kind of like that idea of, once again, like you're at a parade, you're in a helicopter, you're seeing the beginning of the parade of people, you know, getting ready, putting on their getting the floats ready, putting on makeup for like being dressed up as clowns or whatever, and clowns as in like ha 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 ha, not clowns as in liberals. Also seeing the beginning of the parade of it happening midway, and then the end of the parade of people taking down the floats and pretty much going home, sort of thing.
So since you have the plane, take high, I'm gonna go low.
Okie doke. Final mission. So it's like, it's one of those things where if we can essentially say that in that helicopter you're God per se, you can most certainly kind of talk to your creation, talk to the people in that parade, and tell them like, hey, or like, oh hey, there's a big pot road, like there's a big pothole in that road there. Be careful, because I've seen other people trip in it. You might wanna avoid that pothole and stuff. However, he's not going down there
to
like,
direct your foot away from it.
To direct your foot away from it, or to purposely put it in there, because it's your decision to heed that warning and stuff. That's kind of how God. That's also how God kind of authenticates himself as being the one true God, is because he predicts. He told the prophets like history before it happened. That's no other God does that except Judeo-Christian God. The Arminians versus Calvinists.
I'm definitely not a Calvinist, that's for sure. And I'm not a Seventh-day Adventist either.
Calvinist, is that kind of where Presbyterian came from? I mean, I consider myself non-denom. I just consider myself, I read the Word of God. I try my best to read the Word of God.
Consider myself a follower of Christ.
Yeah, follower of Christ sort of thing.
What?
In a way, almost, you know.
I'll tell you what didn't kill him, smoking.
Okay.
It is fun when you push down, you run on the ground. Oh
no.
yeah, so your bombs are these little heat seeker missiles. They're awesome.
Nice. I remember playing this one, but I do remember running on the ground.
Yeah, this level is enormous.
No, we're just... I would be fair to say both you and I are ones, a follower of Christ, and the Bible has enough in it to where it would explain himself. Obviously, do your research and kind of see about the culture and stuff too to get more of an understanding. But most importantly, the Bible will explain itself. You just got to look for it.
Yeah. Also,
and any contradictions you find is God trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
So,
also, it really helps to actually read the other books that are inside the Apocrypha and that are in the Dead Sea Scrolls specifically. Like, reading Enoch is a very helpful book because you get a lot of the vocabulary of the time.
Yeah. Obviously, pray and guard your heart about it, but you know.
Yep. Yeah, Michael Heiser actually has a really fantastic breakdown of some of the stuff in the Book of Enoch, which actually we got you the book for, which I'm really excited to find out more on.
Dude, I've been reading Gary's Genesis 6.
Dude.
I'm on Enoch the Evil.
Oh yeah,
dude, insane. Where are you in that book? Have you read it all?
I am.
Because he talked about Enoch in the previous chapter, but I couldn't tell. I'm assuming he was still talking about Enoch the Evil because all the connections of like the name change and stuff like that. That was all for the pervertedness of everything, right? It wasn't the Seth Enoch, right?
I believe I'm about 60-something% of the way through it, so several hundred Kindle pages in. But yeah, it's a fantastic read.
Calvinists are the ones who predominantly believe in predetermination and chosen people. Armenians are more along the lines of free will, and anyone can go to heaven if they get the message. Well, it's if we're going off of that wording, and I think I understand what you're getting at, but simply just knowing the message isn't enough. While it is true that anybody can go to heaven, so I've started to understand so that if we're the Judeo-Christian belief of Jesus Christ being the Son of God and offering his sacrifice to the world for him to rebuild that connection of avoiding God's judgment and stuff like that. So that's specifically for the second death. That's where everyone gets accounted for. God checks and see, did you accept my offer? Are you in the book of life? If you are, you're going to be with me in paradise forever. If not, you're going to be thrown into hell, aka the lake of fire, Gehenna, sort of thing, or the blackest of darkness, sort of thing. That's,
the outer darkness.
Or the outer darkness. That's where that's going to be.
Yep. You'll be separated.
Yeah, you'll be separated. However, God's also going to judge you by your works. In fact, that's what he gives the non-believers who reject God's offering of second death and pretty much essentially says, no, judge me by my works on earth. And spoiler alert, it's not going to be enough. But God gives that to them and tells you the answer. Not going to be enough, sort of thing. And sadly, but people have the choice to do that. However, accepting Christ, avoiding that second death, you're still going to be judged by your works. To where, again, that's where I said earlier, there's going to be hierarchy in heaven. Because God's then going to judge you about, okay, well, you had a perfect opportunity to help this person become more closer to me. You chose not to. You sort of thing. And then there's going to be a different why'd you say this? Why'd you do this? You know, sort of. So, and I think that's where a lot of people kind of still don't understand that, to where they think, oh, you know, I accepted Jesus, therefore I'll be good. You know, I can therefore kind of still continue to do what I want to do, sort of thing, and not really have to worry about it because Jesus got my back, sort of thing. It's like, well, that's just for the second death. Like, you're still actually going to be judged by the base of your works.
Yeah, and there's a difference between being granted eternal life and inheriting the kingdom, because there will be a lot of Christians that they will be given eternal life. They will live forever in heaven, but they will not inherit the kingdom. And that's why people think that Paul and James are in conflict, when in reality they're not. Paul talks about being justified by faith, and then James says, okay, now that you're justified by faith because of the grace of God, what are you going to do with it? Show me by your works.
Yep.
That's why faith is a word that requires action. So there's actually a belief.
Does that mean when he says inherit the kingdom of God, like you know how he says I prepared a room for you? Does that mean you don't get the...
I think we all get the room, essentially. We all going to have a place to call our own, but our rewards will differ based on the actual goodness that we do out of our faith, the goodness that we do for others and for God. So it's really, really cool when you grab hold of that, because it does.
Wait, I'm being kidnapped?
Yes, you're being taken away. I'm coming after you. I'll save you. Because Christianity is
why wasn't I told that Govax was gone?
Christianity, in order to be counted among the Christian fold, Paul tells us you must believe in your heart and confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord. That's what it takes. Jesus says later on, he says, you know, I myself cannot even pluck you from my own hand. I can't pluck you from the Father's hand. So, you know, once you have made that connection in your heart and you have spoken those words, yes, you are his forever. But like Greg was saying, the judgment that then occurs, those who didn't receive God and they accept the fable as real versus the actual King of Kings, those are the ones whom he has reserved for that outer torment, and they will be the ones that will end up, unfortunately, having to face that judgment. I hold to the belief, and the Bible can back me up on this. I'll have to actually look up the specific references, but I hold to the belief that as Christians, we will not actually face the judgment. Jesus says that he renders your reward.
What? Are you talking about pre-tribulation?
No. I'm talking about that when judgment day does occur, when the end finally happens, we will not be judged like the sinners. Jesus will give us. He will render to us our reward based on our deeds, but it's not going to be an actual judgment like will be in store for those who did sin. Go get it.
Yeah.
Oh, darn it.
Get out, fool.
You're up my ship. No. Hit A, quick. Get out of there. Or X.
I just hit them all at once. Yeah.
I just put in artifact cutting, and then I ate this.
Well, I guess on
There's a
a
reason
more
behind everything.
uplifting note, kind of the last thing I noticed is that I guess there was a con convention. Whoa. Called Bach Anime. I guess it.
Bach Anime.
Bach Anime. It's I believe it's in California, but they have Vic at the planned guests, and of course we're getting some heat from stuff. But they I'm just happy because they stood their ground and they pretty much said, nah, we're having them. We never had a problem with them and stuff like that. And it's really nice to start seeing convention be like, nah, like you're done, sort of thing. And I feel like a lot of, again, with Musk taking over Twitter, a lot of that power they were holding over the head taken away from them.
Oh, yeah. Well, you also gotta wonder at people when they complain about somebody going. It's like, look, what the hell business is it of yours to find out where he's going to be and then try and bludgeon the convention into not bringing them on? Like, where is that your business?
Because it's them still trying to say that he's a sexual predator and all that stuff, even though the appeals haven't happened yet. Judge Chubb never actually really ruled on anything except, hey, I don't believe you have enough evidence for this, so I'm gonna give out a ruling here. but I'm pretty sure this is going to go to appeals. He even said so, but to them that means that they were right all along.
Like, oh yeah, we won.
Because you knew that's how they're going to respond. I mean, my response to that is you support a groomer, so that actually confessed on Facebook was not fabricated and stuff, but.
Yeah,
you know, this just goes to show who these people are.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, that statement was too little, too late.
What's that?
That statement was not only was it too little, too late, but I don't believe it. I believe that is a lie.
Which one?
Damon saying, "Oh yeah, those were fabricated." That wasn't actually me saying that.
I know.
No.
Yep.
It's like we're not retarded. We're not stupid.
Nope.
The best thing that you can do is if you've made a mistake, you need to own up for it and then suffer the consequences. Because unless you want to die emotionally inside, which is what will happen, you will sear your conscience and you will just die emotionally inside.
Well, that's why they surround themselves with these sort of people that support them to numb that pain.
Yep. It's the serotonin hunt that you run for. That's all life really becomes at that point. Is it becomes you just hunting that serotonin to get that next high. And if it's if it's you having to go out and seek camaraderie with people that will just tell you what you want to hear, then I guess that's what you make it. But that is a pretty hollow existence.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want the rockets.
It's foolish. These people are fools. Clowns, they're fools, and they'll reap what they sow, because they've expressed their hatred and their hypocrisy of finding something that wasn't there, of saying tens and thousands of people were assaulted because they got a kiss on the cheek or a hug or something like that, and a jelly bean, and a sexual comment that can't even be remembered in a hair pull, as opposed to a person actually saying masturbating next to a kid and actually saying all the sexual stuff on Facebook.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's foolish. Angron says, I'm gonna laugh my ass off if Twitter starts suspending the Mars Girls and Marchie Brigade for hate campaigns and mobs.
Dude, oh my god.
I wouldn't even know what would be happening with those mobs, because they've all blocked me.
Yeah.
Not that I actively go on their page, because why would I care?
I think I got blocked by a Mars girl, and I didn't even. I've never talked to her, and then I think she gloated about it.
I was blocked by her too.
But didn't she? I think she blocked me and then gloated that she blocked me. I'm like,
blocked because I think it was like Christian stuff like that, and then of course I was blocked because I was simply associated, and then of course the nail in the coffin, as they would say, but yet the badge of honor that we would say is when we took that pic with me. That's when we knew we made it big.
No, baby.
Fools, all fools. Fools and hatred. That's pretty much all I've got. Just the chaoticness of the meltdown that's happening on Twitter, because that power being stripped away, and of course being coped with by saying that hate speech is going to run amok like that.
No. If people deem or if what people believe hate speech is actually truth, then sure, let's call it hate speech, but it only proves that you can't handle the truth, as Jack Nicholson said in Jag.
In what?
Jag.
No, he said that in A Few Good Men.
Oh, I thought it was Jag.
No, it was
A Few Good Men. Oh, I stand corrected.
You can't handle the truth.
That was Jag.
We live in a war. That war needs to be guarded by guns. Who's gonna do it? You? Who protect?
My bad. I don't know why I thought it was Jag. Oh well.
Whatever.
Don't I feel sheepish? But yeah, it stands. Statement stands. Is they're going to deem the truth hateful. Now, as we've even talked about before, I agree that there is speech that is inherently hateful, yes, but hate speech as they define it does not exist. Doesn't exist at all.
Anything, yeah, it should just be labeled hurtful speech.
Yeah, just like
it hurts your feelings, and then
like, hey,
then you go, how do I handle this? You can giggle at it, you can cry and mope,
you can forget about it,
or you could go jack off. Oh.
And Brian, just stay behind. Yeah, it's crazy.
Probably a block bot. Anyone who follows Nick, Tug, Yellow Flash, and Vic get blocked on a man. Yeah, and we're the ones that use all the block to do the so-called like hate brigade of us. Yeah, of us going around attacking the goals. Yeah,
I don't even know these people, nor do I care. I gotta say, those arms are so long, though. Holy cow. I saw that unedited photo of Mars girl standing there with like hand on hip, dressed like Wonder Woman, and it was like, wow, you could probably wrap your arms around me twice in a hug.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think they were gross. I just thought they were odd.
The proportion was.
The proportion didn't make no sense.
They make no sense. Things that don't make sense to me is disgusting. No.
I didn't know what to think, so I just decided to hate it.
I didn't know what to think, so I instantly vomited in my mouth.
It's like Kylie watching those little mini food people cooking tiny little burgers or donuts, and she's like, I don't know whether to be impressed or disgusted, so I just decided to hate it.
Did Nick show you the Mars Girl windmill of peace? Oh yeah, I saw that. That was great.
The windmill of peace.
It was just her arms made it. I think I showed you that one. It was the one that kind of looks like a bad symbol that a certain
like a swastika.
Certain odd duck. Something about his eyes.
Certain Charlie Chaplin mustache wearing guy with a bad comb over decided that he wanted to co-opt, even though that was a symbol that was actually used in the U.S. military and in India.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it flipped?
It was, I believe, the same direction inside the U.S. I think it was flipped in the Indian army.
Ouch.
You gotta jump through his rings, otherwise he'll get you. Dude, I've actually beaten this game, and the one that I have is for Xbox, and you don't get infinite continues. You get one continue.
I will probably say it was probably easier to, because then you don't kind of get who's who.
Yes and no, because my brother and I, we beat levels 4 all the way up through level 4 together, and then I beat level 5 by myself. What I had to do was I had to play it as one player, and then when I was getting close, after I got my continue done, I was getting close to dying, then I joined as the other player to finish it.
So
I had to cheese it.
You cheesed it. Hey, I had to do a lot of cheese of Elden Ring, and I'm on the final boss of that game, and I hate Souls games.
Oh, so brutal.
Yeah, I only did it just because it was like, I'm sure I'll get some pull for people who enjoy seeing me raging and stuff. Terrible mistake, and a waste of time on my end.
Yeah.
And belly laughs for other people, because I'm just like, just freaking out.
You are a giver, Greg.
I guess so. He's clearly a member of Tokyo Manji Gang.
You don't know what that is? That sounds funny. Oh, this poor guy's being zapped.
Wait, so is it... I'm confused. Are they like using him as an energy sort of thing?
I don't know. They're just tormenting the poor guy.
Tormenting him, yeah. It's lucky it was censored. Otherwise there'd be, things up the butt. There'd be some Jack Murphy stuff going on.
Looked like fire.
Not by choice.
Like fire in the sky. He'd be getting that weird goop poured in his eyes.
Oh.
There's a little bit more that we could mention with regards to the Johnny Depp.
Hang on, you be quiet right now.
Johnny Depp.
He says Greg gets so angry and screws up even worse because of it. It's great.
Oh, dude, yeah.
No, nonsense. I played every game. I played every boss flawlessly. It was clearly the game's fault. Clearly the game's fault. What were you gonna say though? Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, just with the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. I haven't been able to catch much of it, but what is it with so many attorneys that we've seen in recent time, like the Rittenhouse trial being one of them, the Depp Heard trial now being another one, the trial of that guy, the old guy who had to blow that dude away in the theater. What is it right now with so many of the attorneys that are in opposition to the one that we're rooting for? What is it with them being so nasty and so abrasive, just so unlikable?
It's their jobs, man. Their jobs. They're supposed to be.
Dude, this thing is awesome. Just run.
At the end of the day, it's just their job, clients. you know, at the time they need to I guess pretend like they're invested into it, and then once it's done, that's it. They move on. I don't know, man. I don't get how anyone could be a prosecutor.
It's tough.
You pretty much lie.
Well, I mean, because like,
But it's weird too, because sometimes, you know, the state is right. Like, the state is right, because I believe the state is for Johnny, and then the defense for Amber. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. Yeah, because Amber hired him. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and you know, it's this point, it's now don't quote me on that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
No, you're right. The defense is Amber.
Maybe it's two defense. Is it regardless if it's not? I mean,
Well, because he's the one who's
it's
bringing.
a defamation.
Well,
so,
he's the one though bringing the actual suit against her.
But then, so then that means you're the state.
No. The state is if you have a state appointed prosecutor who's prosecuting, you know, whatever the crime is. Because you can have a state appointed attorney, but there's also the state will try like so. It's not like you just have to have just a regular person bring every single trial. You know, if say you kill somebody and the cops bring you in,
well, that's
the state's now coming
that's
against
kind of
you.
like going off of Rittenhouse. State was Binger, because it was
Yeah.
the state of Wisconsin versus Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah. Yep.
Sort of thing. So this one, I didn't know if it was like set up the same. And Gron says, you haven't seen Tokyo Revengers? Shame on you, bad weeboo. Bad. I'm a fake weeboo, meaning I'm cool.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves a fair trial on a day in court with honest reputation, even Mills when his number's up.
Yeah,
that's true.
Absolutely.
Mills is going to be very hard to convince, because there's pretty much Facebook comments screen capped forever via Kiwi Farms.
Dude, isn't that crazy? Oh my god. Oh my. I feel like
He admitted it. He admitted it. You cannot argue. You cannot say those were fabricated. Like the main thing with that is I really hope that those people like do stand up for, I guess you could call him Duncan, even though sadly he was doxxed by ANN, who had the story for years and held it over.
That's craziness.
There's a lot of, well, ANN has controlled by, well, I don't know if Crunchyroll has the same power, but when Funimation was around, that's how they did everything. People, what funny had ANN by the balls.
You know, it's rough.
We beat the game at exactly at
I don't think so. We have to escape now.
Oh my gosh.
I believe. Oh, they're clones of our girl. Oh, poor Theo.
We are equal. We are equal opportunists here. We murder.
Well, yeah, we'll kill the crap.
We're not sexist. We'll kill.
We'll kill the
men,
crap out of
women,
Theo.
children, animals. Doesn't matter. We're all equal.
Just love killing.
Opportunity. Just love killing. Dude, these guys are annoying. Come on.
No, dude, they remind me of the big vehicles in the first Tron movie.
They remind me of like those big guys in Mega Man.
Oh yeah, the ones like little sucker bots who
Yeah.
They go over. Die, robot. Die. Oh yeah.
Another one?
No, you won't take down my metal slug. No. Stop it. Yes, armor piercers. Armor piercers. Cannon. Oh.
Oh.
Dang,
You
my
think
pride.
a lot of this nonsense in anime will go away after the merger? Don't think any of the can't yet. I mean, I've heard people say Crunchyroll was just bad, so it might just be a whole nother beast. But then again, it could also be another clear example of another dog eat dog, where, you know, maybe there's some people in Crunchyroll will be like, no, we're tired of this crap.
I would hope.
know.
I
would hope so.
really would hope, because it's like enough already. We've seen just how crazy people get. We've seen just how crazy they can get. We've seen how willing they are to go beyond what's even humane.
Because again, it's
that tribalistic nonsense.
well, and it was never about the craft.
Yes.
It was about infiltrating it and using it as a platform to push a certain ideology. It's the same thing with the Gamergate garbage. Those females infiltrated the gaming circle, not because they cared about the genre. They saw this is an area that we could get into to push our agenda into. That's what it was. Never cared about video games, and there are people that never cared about anime, which surprisingly enough, a lot of the voice actors hate their craft. They hate the craft that they're in, but yet they continue to go back because they are well known. Yet in terms of big celebrity status, they're lucky to be D actors.
Well, and a lot of
it makes no sense.
A lot of the big the top cream of the crop in the voiceover community, they do hate who do anime. They do hate anime, but they're too lazy to go out there and try and make it otherwise. And whether that's because they're super overweight and they're like, oh, I don't want to put in the effort to go and actually get myself fit so I look good on camera, or what, I don't know. But that is the case. A lot of them are just too lazy to go out there and make an effort otherwise.
What Greg says is to never hire women based. Nope, not true. Everyone can be good at the craft. It doesn't matter doesn't matter if you're male or female. It's just you can tell who the people are that try to bring about ideology inside of a workplace that not only was not really having a problem with it, but like didn't need it at all. Because Lara Croft was specifically made with sex appeal. Like, there's no denying it. Like, it was sex appeal. Doesn't mean every woman didn't mind. Like, there are women in there who love Melanie Mack. She loves Lara Croft.
I've met more girls who love ecchi anime than I've met guys who enjoy it.
That's the thing. It's all of us. It's a loud minority. What it is.
But you know, in all this craziness, I think what I have really come to appreciate is that in the last several years, you have seen people show that they are bold enough to fight for their reputations, and I'm really happy that Johnny is doing that, because to not do that sets a very terrible precedent. You know, it's like how people say nice guys finish last. Yeah, they do when they don't stand up for themselves. Absolutely finish last. So I am happy that Johnny is.
Oh dang it! Jumped in.
So,
just grab it.
I'm getting it. Oh no, you get it! Get it!
I got it. Yeah.
Get him. Use your cannon. Use your zappy gun. Use your bolts of lightning. Oh my gosh, this level is forever. I had to throw 8 grenades at him to kill him. It's crazy.
Oh my god, it goes on forever like this.
Oh my
what
god.
The hell?
Hey Marcus, would you say the Pulitzer, Burn of the Fire, or the Pulitzer? Right. Oh my, this ship. I don't remember having to run this far.
I do. I remember when I did my just like took forever. You think, all right, we already fought aliens. We already killed the cloning machine. Like, let's go.
Right.
Like, what else do we have to do?
Oh, now we gotta fight out.
Oh, we gotta escape. We gotta escape before it explodes with a timer that doesn't exist.
Dude, now I have to say I'm crazy impressed at myself for making it through, even with the extra guy, because this is madness. This is complete.
Is the girl gonna join us? I hope so.
I hope she does.
Better die.
Theo, you gotta get out of there.
Come join us.
Theo, we're going in space. Where's your helmet? No.
Oh no, she did.
Theo.
All the best VAs did leave. Bailey, Baker, William, all went to more lucrative and better things. Gaff got left behind. Valencia too, even though she's an idiot at times. I have mixed feelings about her.
What?
I think this is actually the final boss.
Oh my gosh. Oh god. Oh my gosh. Wow. All right. I guess we'll just
that brain.
shoot his brain. Get him. Oh, it just hurts us. How do we not get hurt by that?
I don't know.
Oh. What? Oh no. Foul.
Slice that brain. I mean, they all went on to do better, bigger and better things, but you can kind of look at where they went to.
Well, there's like anime's fun. It is. Unless you're doing conventions, it's not going to keep your lights on though. Unless you're directing, it's not going to keep your lights on. It's fun to do. Yes, I did really enjoy it. It feeds your soul getting to play these characters and getting to have these fun little situations that you get to add your voice to. Yes, it is a lot of fun to do. But the frustration that comes out of having to live inauthentically in order to enjoy the perk of being able to do it, that you can't maintain. And I think that's why you see so many people inside the anime VO community constantly posting things like, oh guys, there VO's alive, posting things like, oh, I'm having a real humdinger of a day, send me all the cute puppy memes, or help me get a serotonin drip going here because I'm just so depressed. Because they can't to have the cake, which the cake is being able to go and say, oh yeah, I'm a voice actor at Funimation. In order to have that cake, they have to keep their mouth shut about all the things that really mean something to them, and that's really sad. I couldn't do it anymore. I literally could not do it anymore. Not like having to keep my mouth shut while I had to listen to all my coworkers prattle on about their political choices, and then ostracize anybody else who didn't have the exact same opinion. No, it's unlivable. That is an unlivable way to be. That is a recipe for absolute madness. It will drive you crazy.
Met her once at a con around 2011. She was genuinely nice and sweet. Then we moved to Cali and went down fat. That's what I'm telling you, man.
We're talking about Brina?
I think
Didn't
so.
she have brain surgery too?
I don't know what happened.
Could be that the gray matter just isn't what it used to be.
I mean,
I don't know though.
I think, wasn't it? No, it was
wow. Speaking of brain surgery,
it was Dodie's husband when like the immigration thing was happening with Trump, where he was like taking classes to be a lawyer, talking about what Trump was doing, and I remember reading on fuck dude.
Wait, actually taking classes to be a lawyer?
It was I don't even remember it. It was something so. It was like
I'm gonna say that's a load of crap.
That's what I'm going. Like,
hey, I only needed 35 continues, but you needed 49.
I was trying to carry the stream here, buddy. Nah, just
Snack.
F A Fast. Loved her as Maho and Beck.
Oh yeah, Beck. Boy, that's some deep cuts there. An actual cool band anime. Look at that. We got Theo in the top of the.
Isn't there like 4 people?
There is. I don't know where old Tarma is. What a name, Tarma. Tarma and Mark.
Ouch.
Well, thanks for joining us, y'all.
We are done.
This has been.
Oh, it's a gun.
It's a 9mm.
Oh no.
No, it's not. It's a 1911. Or is it a Beretta? Oh, it's a Beretta, I think. Yeah, it's a Beretta. That's what it is. It could be a 9mm. Could be the Beretta M9.
Well, in any case, shout out to everyone who stopped by. Thanks for stopping by.
Yes, thanks for keeping us company as we rumble on through some Metal Slug. Get to hit number 4 and 5 next time.
1911 says Angron.
It looks like from this angle, it looks like 1911.
It looks like a 1911.
But the extended barrel at the end there makes me think that it might be a Beretta.
I think it was Palencia who went on and on at a panel about how much she loved Obama. See,
Loved what?
Obama.
It's like, why does it even need to be there? People are coming to go see you at an anime convention because they're jazzed about anime. They don't need to know
that
you.
one guy we saw who was dressed as G at a con? I saw one, and it was like, oh wow, you guys. If I came in dressed as Muhammad or, whichever, pick your religion, you guys would get super butthurt about it. Later, gents. I followed you on Twitter. Thanks, Angron.
Thank you for the follow.
Yes, but yep, we're gonna call it in. All of our info is in the description below. Thanks again for joining us. We'll be continuing more Metal Slug next time around. Keep an eye out. Until then, stay strong, stay safe,
And please share the stream.
yeah, share the stream, but more importantly, just no,
Find Jesus.
find Jesus. Okay, want to end it like that? That's fine. Way to end it off on a religious note. Oh, no, just kidding. But yeah, thanks you guys. Adios.